just incredible. And you're listening to Damage 365 Radio. Now that's not just the coolest, that's not just the best. Damage 365 Radio, now that's just incredible.
The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, and at this time, we are joined by the man, Ricky Otazu, also known in the wrestling world as Ricky O. Ricky, welcome back to the show.
Hey, what's up, guys?
So, we have a lot of questions that have been kind of swirling, and I spoke to you briefly, and I didn't really want to get into depth with you because I wanted to save it for the show. JCW, officially no more?
JCW is definitely, for right now, closed. It's a strategy that I had to implement. As you know, we've run some shows in the past in New York and some out-of-state venues, and, people in the state kind of shit on us with the name Jersey, especially in New York. Like, people told me, they didn't come to the show because our name was Jersey Championship Wrestling. We're venturing out. It looks like the end of 2015 and early 2016, there's going to be a lot of really, really big news coming. That's going to involve New York, Pennsylvania, and probably Maine.
Okay.
So in order to have a more national feel to the company, I figured it was time to no longer just have the name Jersey in the title of the company.
Okay, no, I totally understand that. I think I heard you mention that during, I think there was a news release on your page regarding that. And I could totally see that because, for some reason, Jersey, just the state itself, gets stupid reputations, whether it's...
Hey, we just got voted the most hated state in the country.
Which is it's a
total joke.
It's a joke, but meanwhile, I got to sit in traffic.
They love our beaches. They love our cheesesteaks on the Jersey Shore. They love, they love making fun of everything. But people are always here. People vacation here. The state's beautiful. Everybody wants to give us a rap because of Christie. I actually like Christie. I hope he becomes president. He's a big wrestling guy too. People don't know that.
But yeah, again, we both had to sit in traffic all weekend long while the Bennies are invading our parkway, and but everybody hates to come here, but they never want to leave.
Exactly.
Right. Well, with that said, now you are going into a new business venture with Game Changer, or Game Changing World, I guess is the official name of that company. And you're forming Game Changer Wrestling, GCW.
Well, there's two separate entities there. Okay. I want to clear that up right off the bat.
Okay.
Game Changer World is a home arena to us. Yes, we're going on tour with them. We're doing the Rock Carnival. We just did Skate and Surf with them. We did Great Adventure with them. And we have a bunch of other stuff that we're in the works with them. The name Game Changer Wrestling is not affiliated with them at all.
Okay.
It's just the fact that the game is changing. The fact that we're moving out of state, we're stealing some of their name. They're cool with it. And, and no means is anyone from Game Changer an owner of the new company. It's just an affiliation with them.
Okay, now, is Game Changer changing... talking about tongue twist. Is Game Changer World affiliated or in any way owned or by anybody with Six Flags Great Adventure?
No.
No, so they're two separate companies as well.
Two separate companies. Great Adventure is a proud sponsor of us. Mm-hmm. We already have our deal in place to do shows next year in New Jersey. The good news is that we do have the Jersey show, and there might be even better news that we are going through the United States. We have a meeting with their corporate headquarters in October, and if all goes well, you might be seeing us on a whole bunch of other Six Flags parks.
That'd be very interesting.
Again, it leads up to, you can't go down to Kentucky or Ohio and Tampa and run a Jersey Championship Wrestling show. It's just not going to get over.
No, I totally agree. I absolutely agree with you there. It wouldn't matter if it was Jersey or even if it was New York or you're invading their territory with another state's name. They don't like that. Just like if anybody came in here using like Ohio State wrestling and they, did a show in the middle of New Jersey, I don't think Jersey fans would come out because it was Ohio.
Well, it goes back to a lot of many years ago. Georgia Championship Wrestling, again GCW. Little play on words there, but my favorite company of all time as a kid. There was nothing better than Gordon Soley.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia Championship Wrestling used to go on tour. They used to do Ohio. They would go as far as the Virginias and the Tennessees and all of that. And when they went on tour, they couldn't use Georgia Championship Wrestling. They went on tour as NWA Pro Wrestling. It goes back into the 70s that you just can't go into other states
right.
with a name that's state-specific.
Yep. Well, it's good to see after, you got 50 years later, and the business really hasn't changed when it comes to that aspect. So.
Right. No, people are territorial, man. Just look here in New Jersey. I mean,
yeah.
There's like 5 meaningful companies that run. We're all at each other's throats all the time. I bet you if we were not in pro wrestling, we all met in a bar somewhere, we'd all hang out and we'd have a good time. But because of the fact we're involved in wrestling, we all don't get along.
Yeah, it's a very disturbing. I've said this on the show a lot. It's a very disturbing fact that wrestling promoters, owners can't get along with each other. That it's an ego thing because you want your company to be better. And
listen, I'm going to sum this up real fast. We're in a fantasy world. Guys in fucking tights that are gymnasts, phenomenal athletes, great sportsmen. But it's theater, okay? And everybody involved in this business has an ego. Mm-hmm. Everybody thinks they write the best scripts. Everybody thinks they have the best fans. Everybody thinks that they're the best storytellers. If you didn't think that way, you don't belong in the business. I don't hate Pro Wrestling Syndicate. I don't hate Eric Tapau. I don't hate Pac Buck. I don't hate Fat Frank. I don't hate people. As a matter of fact, Fat Frank is one of my longest friends. I just feel that all think we run the best. We all think we have the best ideas. And if we didn't think that way, we wouldn't be making money. And the fact that we do think that way means we all can't get along. And that's all there is to it.
Nah, I mean, yeah. And you have to think like that because nobody's going to come work for you if you don't have an overly confident attitude about what you do.
Listen, if you ever came to a crew and said, we're going to be the 3rd best wrestling company in the state, let's go number 3. You think anybody would respect you?
No. No.
You don't play baseball to say, I'm a Mets fan, so it's kind of different. We have an owner that can't spend a friggin' dollar. But you don't go into a season and say, hey, guys, we're shooting for number 4 this year. It just doesn't happen. Your team's going to be down. Then you think, we only have to win enough games to be in 4th place.
And I'm a Met fan, too. We strive just to win one game at a time.
Yeah, and we're kicking the crap out of the Dodgers today, so I'm kind of happy.
It's okay. I know. I went upstairs and we had 4 runs. I almost needed a drink.
We're up to 8, so we've met our quarter for the week. We won't score the rest of the week.
Oh, great.
Excuse me, it's now 9.
Hope it's a couple days off.
No, it's 8. Okay, never mind. All right, but getting back to Game Changer Wrestling.
Yes.
2015, the end of this, we get the Rock Carnival. We just signed the Bullet Club from Japan. It goes back to Chad. Carl Anderson, I should call him Carl Anderson, his wrestling name. Luke Gallows, Tama Tonga will be coming in October 16th and 17th. Tama will be defending against Joey in a rematch. B Squad is going to take on the Bullet Club. There's a lot of real positive things coming up. We got the Rock and Roll Carnival. Puddle of Mud's going to be there. Slash is going to be playing there. Stone Temple Pilots are going to be there. There's a lot of big name, late 90s, early 2000 rock bands that everybody loves.
Mm-hmm.
GCW is going to be there. We're offering our first ever pro wrestling boot camp to train with Hacksaw Jim Duggan. This is not for professional wrestlers. This is for people who want to get in wrestling. This is for a kid whose dream might be try to see what it's like to get in the ring. So we're going to offer a little something different on that. And we're hoping we're going in a different direction. We got a huge announcement this week coming up with the first ever Nick Gage Invitational Hardcore Tournament that we're going to be backing. We're going to announce the card and the lineup and the location for that. Mm-hmm. And that's part of us changing our image from this PG-13 family wrestling company to show that we have a little bit more hard edge. The fact that we've gotten guys like Chris Dickinson to make JCW his home fed, to get a guy like Nick Gage right out of what he was out of in Philadelphia, and his first show back was with JCW. That was a huge score for us.
Right.
You know, that was a guy that 6-7 years ago we would have never thought of using. But we had to shed that family image to get more fans to come out and check us out, and I think it's working.
Yeah, I was at that. I think that was, what, Manville?
Yes.
Yeah. Some of the fans were they were a little taken back by the end of that match.
Yeah. Well, it's a little bit different. No offense, we still love our children, and we're going to have our JCW kid shows and shows like Hasbrook Heights and stuff like that, where we do the youth groups, and GCW will continue that. But there's going to be shows like Great Adventure and Manville and Rock Carnival and Skate and Surfs and Pennsylvania shows that aren't not going to be geared towards kids 12 and under, and that's just a fact that we had to come as a company to realize that we have to cater to new fans in 2015.
Yep. So you're still going to do, like, because I know you guys were very, with Manville, Hasbrook Heights, Union, and Brick. Are you still going to do some matches
We're
there?
not going to be going back to the Brick building. It's just we've outgrown it.
Yeah.
It's too small. The low ring we did some phenomenal things there with Terry Funk and Mick Foley and Scott Hall and X-Pac and guys like that. And we've done some tremendous things there, but we've outgrown the building. It's just, it comes across a little amateurish to be running buildings with low rings and low ceilings, and we're putting 500 people in the building, and it looks like it looks like we were running in a tuna can.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's funny you mentioned X-Pac, because the last show that I was at in Brick, and it was where was X-Pac? Where did he go?
I don't know.
He went disappeared.
I don't even know. I mean, Sean's a great guy. I don't want to sit here and badmouth Sean. We had a pretty public Twitter fight this week, and whatever it is. He's got his opinions on things, and he goes on these rants sometimes that are just inconceivable that a guy would just go off on things randomly, like with no reason to do it, and bring things up from 5-6 years ago and have no facts. And he's a great guy. I love him. He draws crowds. JCW loved him. GCW is not going to use him, obviously. We're just not getting along at this time.
Well, I guess we'll see what happens with him, and he's a walking storyline in himself. So, I always say guys like that, I wish them the best, because I just know that there's something wrong there. That they're not 100%. There's just something wrong.
There's a disconnect.
Yeah.
He's had his problems in the past, and I wish him, like you said, nothing but the best. Nice guy. When he shows up and he's in the ring, he's phenomenal.
Yep.
It's getting him to a show and getting to deal with the 50 pounds of excess baggage that comes along with him that, sometimes a little hard to do.
Yeah.
But I wish him nothing but the best. I hope his life is great, him and Scott.
Yeah.
I hope to God Scott Hall's rehab is going well and he gets out, and I hope they live a long life and find happiness.
Yeah, I mean, Scott Hall. I mean, I've had numerous conversations with Scott Hall, and he's just a normal guy. Just talking to him, you never know the demons that he's had to battle in the past until it becomes public. He's just such a low key, down to earth guy. But definitely wish all those guys luck in the future. Now, as far as like any mainstream guys, that are you planning on using any former mainstream guys?
We always have the door open. Like I said, we have Jim Duggan coming in. We got the Bullet Club coming in. Jake the Snake Roberts is always a family member in JCW. We'll continue that with GCW. I got the Jake Roberts comedy show on August 21st to 22nd in Atlantic City at the Taj Mahal. It's a little something we're going to be doing now, too. Any pro wrestlers out there that are doing these stand-up gigs and stuff like that, we're going to be bringing them down to the Taj Mahal in Atlantic City and doing some stand-up shows. I'm going to host a little portion of that show with Jake and do a little stand-up routine with him and a little question and answer with the fans. It's kind of going to be like a live shoot interview. So, we got a lot of stuff, a lot of irons in the fire right now. We're looking to do a bunch of different things, and, we're always looking. I mean, unfortunately in this business, it's, who's the next guy that gets released? That's the next hot talent.
Yeah.
So it means that somebody lose their full-time job, go on the indies, and that guy becomes the next hottest thing in the country. November 14th, I got the Brainbusters, half the Four Horsemen coming in for the big event in New York City, Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard. And, last year I had the Dudleys, and unfortunately I had Dusty Rhodes' last public appearance in a convention setting, and it was probably the most humbling day of my life when I found out Dusty passed away, because I had just made a really critical, crucial, nice friend. I mean, I had worked with Dusty years and years ago in the NWA, and down in Florida, I actually worked a match with Ralph Mosca and myself against Dusty in a handicap match, and